Welcome to our Meet the Management series, where we speak with leaders and innovators driving change across different industries. I'm Tabitha Oxford, and today I'm joined by Charles Reed and Greg Brown at MycoSure. In this conversation, we'll learn more about who MycoSure is as a company, the challenges they are working to solve, and why their company is becoming increasingly important in today's landscape. Thank you both for joining us today. To start, who is MycoSure as a company, and what was the vision behind establishing the business?
Well, good day, and thank you for having us. My name's Charles Reed. I'm one of the co-founders, along with Greg of MycoSure. We define ourselves as a South African food tech company, and really we are looking to develop what we call mycelium-based fermentation technology to produce high quality sustainable protein, or what we call mycoprotein. And really this is in response to the Future of Food challenge and how we find more climate resilient, sustainable ways to produce food in the future. And so just for your viewers, mycelium is the root structure of fungi, and to give you an easy analogy to understand it by, if you think of an apple tree, the apples would be mushrooms, the fruiting body, and our technology works with the root structure or the mycelium. And in our applications, we can grow that very quickly, and it is high nutritional content for what we're looking to develop as food ingredient for the B2B market.
Amazing. Building on that vision, what specific problem or challenge is MycoSure working to solve?
So at a high level, if you look at it, we're looking to produce an alternative protein. The UN talked to by 2050, we're going to be facing an annual global shortfall of 250 million tons of protein every year. So we're going to have a shortfall in our ability to feed ourselves, specifically in our world, from protein. And on top of that, that's driven lots by climate and resource dependency, but also its disruption to global supply chains. So you can see some of the global conflicts at the moment around the world impacting fertilizer, energy, moving around, all of which has an impact on our ability to produce food. And this is in context of 75% of the world's food coming from only 12 plant and 5 animal species. So we have a real strong dependence on a handful of traditional agricultural practices that are under significant pressure, and we're looking to develop technologies that will complement that to be able to meet the food demands that we have by 2050 and onwards.
Yeah, and maybe I can add to that. So, we're really excited about the multiple applications in both the food and beverage for mycoprotein. So anything from healthy snacking to health shakes to baked goods to analog meats. So we're seeing multiple food and beverage applications for our mycoprotein as a food and beverage ingredient.
And when it comes to that challenge, why does solving it matter for businesses, communities, or the wider industry?
Well, it's a sustainability issue. So, Greg and I, when we got into this business, were specifically looking for an opportunity that would have significant commercial viability, but would also have the opportunity to have a significant socio-economic and environmental impact and a strong purpose orientation. So, there are two ways to look at this. We both have families, and this is about the future and a legacy we leave behind for our kids and future generations, and the ability for them to feed themselves. So that's one side of it. And the flip side of it for us is, it's important to be able to come up with commercially viable solutions to these challenges that we're going to face, because that's the only way that we are going to get them to scale and the only way that they're going to be sustainable.
Given the importance of that problem, how does MycoSure solution or approach differ from others in the market?
So there are probably 3 or 4 companies globally that are doing or have developed similar technology to ours. We are developing our own proprietary version of that technology locally. The difference that we have locally here in terms of how we've developed that technology is our own, what we call our upstream processes, so our own feedstocks, our own way of growing this technology, if you like. That's our own proprietary knowledge as a company. And then we are looking at this as a platform technology, which is a bit unique when you look at the international incumbents. So we see this as an opportunity to use this technology to develop multiple ingredients for multiple applications across the food and beverage market, and use multiple strains of fungi to do that. So it's a platform for us, which is really important, and a way that we're able to leverage different aspects of this technology for different applications.
Yeah, again, so as Charles mentioned, this platform strategy is really exciting. We are looking to build South Africa's first commercial mycoprotein production facility here in South Africa, but we're also considering other revenue models, such as licensing our technology, where we could literally take our technology and license that to any food and beverage player in the market as well. So there are multiple ways of us commercializing our technology. As Charles mentioned, the different strains of fungi, the different types of feedstocks, the proprietary technology that we've developed in both the up and downstream processing. So yeah, we're really excited about the applications. We can grow this mycoprotein in under 2 days, so that in itself is exciting. So yeah, the commercials make sense. It's highly scalable. It has been done in a few places in the world. So we're obviously trying to replicate that here in South Africa, but we believe we've also got a significant cost advantage here in South Africa. Our resources, our labor, and the feedstocks, a lot of them are produced here locally in South Africa as well.
That's really incredible, and I'm excited just listening about it. And looking ahead, how do you see MycoSure evolving as you continue addressing this challenge in years to come?
Well, look, our ambition is to be the leading producer of mycelium-based protein and other ingredients in Africa. So, where we are in our journey at the moment, we've raised 2 rounds of commercial funding. We recently closed an equity round. We're using that funding to specifically optimize our technology and do our pre-engineering design for our first facility. So really excited to get to that milestone, build what would be the first commercial scale mycoprotein production facility in Africa. And then, as Greg was talking about our platform strategy, it's how do we grow and expand that platform and become one of the world's leading producers of mycoprotein and based ingredients around the world. This is about African innovation responding to unique and significant global sustainability challenges, and we're really proud to be one of the companies that's showcasing this ability that African innovation has to play on the global stage.
I think also quite unique is, Charles and I took this idea to the CSR here in Pretoria. We're working with a world-leading technology partner here in South Africa. We're partnering with a number of food and beverage companies. We've got some really good people, some engineers we brought on board that have got real experience in the fermentation industry. So Charles and I, in a way, joining the dots between all this expertise with our vision in terms of how do we take this forward and commercialize this technology.
It's been so great learning about the challenges you're addressing, why they matter, and how your team is approaching the solutions in this space. We appreciate you taking the time to be part of our Meet the Management series. Thank you so much, Greg Brown and Charles Reed, for joining us and for sharing your insights and giving us a closer look at the work being done at MycoSure. And thank you to our audience for joining us, and stay tuned for more conversations with the leaders and innovators shaping their industry.